well, let me share my screen so that you can see the bird. As I remember, last session we started up to part 10, yeah, and now we're gonna read part 11 and answer this part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's get started. Okay, so again, we have the rest of reading section and then we'll start with writing section here. But first of all, let's complete it. So this part 11. Okay, we're gonna read the text and then focus on the adverbs and adjectives in the headings. So we're gonna decide which maybe heading is no longer possible answer. Okay, well, just let's read this part. May I ask you to read it out loud to check the pronunciation of the word?
Okay.
Thank you.
In fact, the only fence permitted in the town was built by the local authority, interestingly with the aim of keeping humans out of the park rather than containing the animals inside. Consequently, it's not unusual to see giraffe or elephants causing traffic jams, for example, and even predator attacks on humans are unnervingly common. A lion was recently said to be mauled and eaten an escaping burglar. Yet even after this, while some residents then call for all lions to be rounded up and shot, others suggest that they be allowed to walk through the thoroughfares as a type of common crime control after an increase in the number of burglaries. Everywhere in Matlock Park, a wary understanding exists between man and beast.
Okay, well, so let's talk about this word. First of all, let's talk about these words that I can see, maybe a few words. Okay, the first one, predator. Okay, do you have any idea about the definition of this word, predator?
No.
For example, of course, it's normal because this is IELTS, so of course you know, but you know, maybe the other word, not exactly the same word. Okay, so as you know, in the nature, we have some hunter animals. You know, they live by killing and eating other animals, like lion. So we call them predator. So let me write here. Okay, predator. Okay, an animal that lives by killing and eating other animals. So, for example, lion. Do you know any other predator?
Tigers.
Of course, yes, tiger. Okay, so strong animals, normally strong animals. Well, and then we have this adverb, unnervingly. So we have now the adverb. Let me underline it first of all. Okay, here, yeah, unnervingly. Okay, and what is the meaning of this adverb? Can you guess?
Um,
You know, when nerve. So let me help you. You know, sometimes maybe people or animals or no matter who, actually something like a manner that makes someone feel worried or uncomfortable. So if I want to give you a synonym for this adverb, I can say for example, bothering, worrying, disturbing, okay, distressing. Okay, so this is actually, this adverb means in a manner that makes one feel worried or uncomfortable. This is about this one. Okay, and burglar. So you know this word. So here, do you have any idea about this burglar?
Like someone stealing.
Yeah, of course, try to steal some. Of course, normally we use it for people who steal something from house. So of course, we have the same thing here. Very good. And now we have another word that I can see here. Let me check. Okay. Let me make it a little. Okay, larger so that. This one. Thoroughfare. Okay, so actually this can be considered as maybe a public area. A public, for example, area, or for example, the main road. Okay, a passage through somewhere. For example, when you go to zoo, there are some places actually that you can pass through. So this is thoroughfare. Okay, so as you can see, to walk the thoroughfares as a type of crowd control. So, you know, there are some areas that you can walk in, and this means thoroughfare. Okay. And
Okay.
yeah, and just this. Okay. Well, and the last one, I can't see anything else, I think. But, you know, let me say something about this one. Interestingly, you know, Alex, we see this adverb here, but as you know, IELTS language is formal language. So some words like interestingly, surprisingly, they are not really usable for writing. You know, of course, it's definitely right, but if you want to write it, an essay or a text, it's better not to use these type of adverbs, like really casual, informal. So interestingly or surprisingly, or I don't know, something like this. So they are not really common and usable adverbs. Well, and fans permitted. Permitted means allowed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Well, let's check this part. An unusual approach to regulation, dealing with the occasional dangers of the wild, where human and animals cautious. Do you know the meaning of cautiously? You know?
Um, no.
Of course, you shouldn't. That's too normal. If you know, you don't need to study this book. Okay, cautiously means carefully. When you are aware of something, well considered. So being careful and well considered. Careful and well considered. Of course, when you live with wild animals, of course, you need to be aware about dangers because this is actually something like human and animals existing together. So of course, you need to be aware, careful, and well considered. Okay, and now let's check which one. The first one, what do you think about the first one? Can be a good and correct possible heading for this text?
Um, no.
Okay, well, so why do you think no? As you remember here, regulation, we had it here. Do you remember we checked this part together that, not allowed to build fences, some rules, regulation, unusual. Okay, so here, let me show you this part. Anxious residents are not allowed to build fences around their houses. This is unusual, actually, way unusual, maybe rules, regulations. Yeah, unusual. So you live with a lion, but you are not allowed to build fences around your house. So it can be really unusual. So what do you think now? Do you think it can be a good one?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Great. I think so. So we say it's okay. And dealing with the occasional dangers. So what do you think about this one?
It can be.
It can be okay. So we are dealing with, yeah, it can be. How about the third one? Where humans and animals cautiously coexist.
No.
Okay, so no. So we say no. Okay, and I say okay. Well, but when we say we're human and animals cautiously coexist, okay, because we read this paragraph, okay, we're gonna find, the topic sentence here. I think this one can be the best. Of course, you're right. A can be the answer, possible, it's normal. B can be the answer, it's okay. But I think C can be the best option. And do you know why?
Why?
Let me say, for example, when you say an unusual approach to regulation, actually, we mention a part of our sentence, just this. So it's something like we paraphrased this sentence. Yeah. So this is something like detail, not a general. When we say heading, we talk about the general idea of the text, the whole text, not only one line. So I think this is good, but not enough. The second one, dealing with occasional, okay, dangers of the wild. It's not possible because actually we have, let me show you, we have the word like constant threat, danger here. Okay, so there is nothing, about it here. So as you can see, it's everywhere. Okay, so as you can see, we here, when we read this paragraph, actually, we have something about dangers. We have something about living animal and human together, but we don't have anything about dealing with. So nothing. So it's not possible, I think. But where human and animals cautiously coexist, I think this is a very good paraphrase. So I think this is the correct one, and it's really good paraphrase for actually the sentences, the whole paragraph. The condition, the condition that people and wild animals live together. Now, do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, so, okay. Just let me read this part. It's not bad to explain this actually part again, just briefly talk about it. In fact, the only fence permitted in the town was built by a local authority, government. So authority means local government. Interestingly, with the aim of keeping humans out of the park, it's not because, you know, keeping humans safe, because they want to keep humans out of the park to actually maybe protect the animals rather than containing the animals inside. So that's really interesting. They don't care about people. They care about animals. Consequently, as a result, it's not unusual to see giraffes or elephants causing traffic jam. For example, if you are on the street and you see, okay, giraffe is walking in, for example. So it's really normal to see them. And for example, and even predator attacks on humans are unnervingly common. So it's something like, for example, a predator, an animal who, for example, attacker that attacks people, suddenly, unnervingly, something like very in a stressful way, attack people. A lion was recently said to have, mauled and eaten and escaping burglars. So, for example, someone went to a house to steal something and suddenly a lion attacked him. So that's really interesting. And yet, even after this, while some residents, people who live in an area. So, resident, people, I'm typing, residents, people who live in an area. So people then called for all lions to be rounded up and shot. Others suggested that they be allowed to walk and thoroughfares as a type of crime control. So, after an increase in the number of burglaries, everywhere in Marlow Park, a very understanding exists between man and beast. Can you see this one is, this one is a good, it's definitely, here. We're human and animals. So man and beast means human and animals, wild animals. Here, beast means wild animals. And understanding exist, cautiously coexist. So we have to paraphrase. And as I told you, normally you can find the topic sentence or the heading at the end or the beginning of the paragraph. So if you couldn't find here, you can find it at the end of your paragraph. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, and now the last part. Okay. Some paragraphs have no clear topic sentence. So let's read the paragraph and let's decide whether we can find the main idea or no. May I ask you to read this one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um, the real house. What? Hallstatt is
Uh,
in Austria
yeah, Hallstatt. Yeah, Hallstatt in Austria.
and is proud to be a traditional UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Chinese Hallstatt is a carbon copy built in Guangdong Province, China by a millionaire who sponsored the construction of the imitation town. It cost approximately $940 million to build and look exactly like the real Hallstatt, all the way down to its wooden house, its narrow street, and its funicular railway, whereas the residents of Austria Hallstatt, including the mayor, were invited to visit it. They expressed pride that their town was considered so improbably beautiful that it has been reproduced in its entirely, but they still had cause for complaint. Originally, the Chinese company had promised to meet the Austrian residents to confirm that they were happy for their homes to be copied. Instead, they simply sent their employees to Austria to take photos, and they returned home to China without speaking to a single resident of the original Hallstate.
Hallstatt, of course, Hallstatt. Okay, the real Hallstatt is in Austria and is proud to be traditional UNESCO World Heritage Site, so an ancient one, very old. But Chinese, okay, tried to make another town exactly the same as this one, carbon copy. You know, carbon copy means exactly the same. So there are some carbon papers that you can put and copy something actually to another paper. So it means exactly the same. So they try to build another town exactly the same. And it's almost, you know, it cost approximately almost 940 bucks or dollars million to build and look exactly like the real one. So all the way down to its wooden houses. It's narrow. Narrow means not wide. Opposite of wide is narrow. Narrow streets and its funicular railway. When the residents of Austria-Hallstatt, including the mayor, were invited to visit it, they expressed pride that their town was considered so improbably. Improbably means when something is improbable or improbably, this is an adverb, something is not likely to be true. It's something, wow, it's not real. It's something like, no, no way. So something is not likely to be true. Let me write it here. Unprobably. Beautiful. It means unbelievable beautiful that it had been produced in its entirety. But they still had caught for actually complaint. They say no complaint, say some negative points. Originally, the Chinese company had promised to meet with the Austrian residents to confirm that they were happy for their homes to be copied. Okay, if I allow you, if I let you do this, so they need to ask us because this town is our town and you want to copy it, so you need to ask. But you know, instead they simply send their employees to Austria to take photo. Oh, it's not good. And they return home to China without speaking to a single resident of the original Hallstatt. So it's not good. So you want to copy our town, build it, and you don't ask for permission. If we are happy with it, maybe we don't like you to do this. Okay, so this is about this text. Now, what do you think about the best heading? So, which one can be the best one, you think?
I think it's B
You
or
think?
C. I don't know.
I'm not. So let me say something. You only need to, okay, I don't know how to find the topic sentence. There is a point here, Alex. You don't need to understand the whole text. You know, now you understood it, so you got the whole text. But here, the first thing, as I told you, keyword, do you remember? Conflict, reality, imitation, recognition, official importance, the result encouraging investment. So let's find, okay, if you can find something about this one. Reality imitation. So it's so, okay, so I think it's something like can be, because we are talking about a real and a copy. A real town, a copy. So it's something like can be. And the second one, the importance of official recognition. What is this? No, there is nothing. There is nothing with it. When I say official recognition, no, there is nothing with it. So I'm not sure that this can be a good one. And the third one, what do you think about the third one?
It could be.
Yeah. Could be. You say could be. You know, I'm not sure because it's about investments, spending money on something. The only thing that we have here is this. It costs approximately almost $940 million. Just this. So it's detail. No. And there is nothing about wider investment. For example, okay, for example, I say, okay, let's do this. Let's, for example, invest on building this town. No, there is nothing with it. Nothing. So, and about this one, the importance of official recognition, you know, the act recognition, the act of recognizing, okay, or fact of being recognized, maybe acceptance or acknowledgement, okay? So it's something like, no, there is nothing. It's something like, for example, the government, you know, formally recognizes the competence of, I don't know, something. So there is nothing with it here. So I'm not sure. So I think this one is really, really good one. So because we have a real one, reality, and imitation. Imitation means copying. So we have the synonym of this word. Oh, let me change the color. Let me change. Okay. So I think yes. What do you think? Agree?
I agree.
Okay, so, well, and let me check if there is any other word. Okay, yeah, funicular railway, just this. It's a railway, a kind of railway, and normally connects point along a railway track. So on a steep slope, normally steep slope. So we have, this is a kind of railway. So it's on the ground and actually normally on a steep slope. So this is funicular railway. Okay, it's something like, for example, it can be located on, I don't know, something like mountain, you know, somewhere like mountain or like this slope, steep slope. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, so let's keep going. Okay, do you have any issues? Something that you're going to ask me about this part? Something confusing?
No.
No, so it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And now, let's talk about prefixes here, the last part of reading section. Prefix. What is prefix? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course you know. So as you know, prefix is a part of word that is added to beginning of another word to make it different, maybe negative. So usual is an adjective. Unusual is negative, is another adjective. So on is prefix. So a part of word that is added to the beginning of another word. And of course, we have suffix that is added to the end of word. But now we're going to talk about prefixes, the part of words that added to the beginning of the other words to make another one. And of course, they change the meaning of the word. For example, imperfect. Perfect is a positive. Adjective imperfect is not perfect. So negative prefix. Coexist, okay? So post, sub, multi, anti, miss. Okay, so we have different prefixes. And when we add them to the beginning of words, actually we change the meaning of words. Now, let's talk about these prefixes. Post, for, sub, multi, anti, miss, non, pre, over, and under. Okay, well, let's think about, just think. And of course, if you don't know, that's really normal, so no worries. May I ask you to read part A, okay, and try to use the correct prefix word for this word, the word that are in capital.
Okay. The tourist brochure is for Malif Park. Ensure that visitors are pre-warned
Okay, well,
about the wild animals and they may
okay.
encounter walking the streets.
Yeah, they may encounter walking the streets. Okay, very good. So brochure, the first word, this is tourist brochure. Brochure is actually is a paper that is
Yeah.
given to, for example, tourists to give some information. So it's something like leaflet brochure. Here, of course, you don't know because we have different alternatives here and we don't know which one can be the best one. But here, first of all, let's talk about the meaning of these prefixes. So for example, on, or for example, when we say miss, okay, so we're gonna talk about the meaning of them, okay? So when we say on and im, the first one, let me talk about these two. Okay, here, I need more. Let me erase the contents from the board so that I have okay, room to write. It's okay now. Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about these prefixes. On and im, both of them. They make the adjective, especially the adjective opposite. It means not. So not. So they make the opposite one. Co means together.
Yeah.
Means together. We have another one, post. Post means after or behind. After, for example, postgraduate, after. Postmodern, okay? So after, post. And for, or actually it can end in E, okay? It means something like before, like forward, like forehead. Okay, so we have some examples of before, for, and forecast, and forward. Okay, so, and then we have sub. Sub, okay. Sub means under or maybe below. Okay, subway, under. Okay, subtitle, you know, the written form that you can see below when you're watching movie, below the screen, you can see some text, subtitle. Okay, so subtitle or subway, like subway or subtitle. And we have, okay, multi, you know this. It means?
Many.
Of course, multi-millionaire, large amounts, multi-stories, Many. Okay, so, and for example, multinational, some nationalities. Okay, and anti. Anti means against. Antibiotic, against biotic. Okay, something like antivirus.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one. And miss. Miss. Wrong. Misunderstanding. Oh, I didn't understand very well, so that was a misunderstanding. Wrong or badly, not perfect. So misunderstand, misjudge, misspell. When you misspell, it means you spell something. What is this? You spell something in a wrong way. Misspell. So, and non. Non means something like not. Not is good one. Non-profit, without profit. Nonsense, without meaning. Okay? So like non-profit. So not. And pre. Pre means before. Prehistory. Before history. Okay? Over. Over means above or maybe too much. So overload, too much, or oversleep, too much. Okay, so under, you know this, below, or not enough, not enough. Underwater, underwear, okay, under degree. So it means below or not enough, both of them, okay? So now you know the meaning of all these prefixes, okay? Now let's guess. For example, for this one, warn. Okay, what can we? Look, the tourist brochure for Marl Park ensure that visitors are about the what? Before they go to the park, they need to know. They need to be warned. So, okay, just, be careful. So, what prefix, which one can we use?
For.
Yes, definitely yes. So, for, warn, just, this for actually ends in E, or another option,
Pre.
Excellent, pre-warned. So forewarned or pre-warned, very good. And just why should I say warned? Because, this is passive. I will talk about passive structure. So are and past participle of verb. So forewarned or pre-warned. Okay. One thing you can always be sure if in Longyearbyen, the symmetries will never be populated. Because, do you remember in this actually area, people are not allowed to die. Do you remember? They need to leave the town if they feel sick. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So maybe the population, the number of people, I can say maybe never increase, because of this. So they won't be populated or crowded. So what word? Maybe too many, maybe too much, very. So which one?
Multi.
No, multi is something, it's okay, but here means multi, the combination, many of something, but we want to say too much, more than enough. So above, too much?
Over.
Good job. Overpopulated. Overpopulated. It means more than too much population, too many people, too much population. So you will never see this in this area because, of course, they need to leave the town. So, of course, the population is something like decreasing, not increasing. So you won't see overpopulation or populated. Okay. The residents of Hallstatt believed that they would be consulted by the company, building a copy of their town, but it turns out they they were informed. It means they say that they actually should have informed resident, but they didn't. So, or they gave some wrong information, maybe.
Miss.
Very good. Miss is the best one. Misinformed. Misinformed. Very good. And the last one, Arwile was founded according to a governed system of rules and beliefs. So, if you remember, they were against, the system of rules and, so something like they were against.
Anti.
Good job. Government or government also. Governmental system. Anti-governmental or government system of rules and beliefs. So this is all you need to know about prefixes, okay?
Okay.
Good. Any questions? Was it difficult?
Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay, of course, of course. Just, maybe the first time, because, Alex, we normally, for example, when we hear a word, it's like, okay, I just heard it, but we don't pay attention to the meaning of them and if I can use them in different situations or no. But here, when we know the meaning of prefixes, okay, when I see the word, when I read the sentence, I can guess, this one can be a good one, an appropriate one for this sentence. So here now, because you know the meaning of them, in the future, it will be easy to use them. You can use them very easily. So maybe the first time it's a bit hard. You need to pay attention to the meaning of a definition of sentence. Then you decide which one can be an appropriate one. Okay?
Okay.
Well, so and here, as you can see, we have every session, we have exam skills. This is your assignment for home, your homework. Okay, so as you can see, there is a reading part here. You need to read and send me your answers. As you can see, we have two parts. Okay, as you can see, this part and this part. So this is matching heading. So
yeah.
No matter, just think about it and just try to find the answer. If you know, no worries, just I want to know if you can or no. Don't forget about underlining the keyword. They're really important. And Alex, no matter if you don't get the meaning of whole text, you don't need to get. Just pay attention to the keywords. Try to find them and try to find some synonyms. Okay? And when you see, this is a trick. So when you see something is exactly the same as the question, say, oh, this is the answer, exactly the same, is not the answer. In listening, in reading, in listening and reading. In IELTS, when something is really clear, it's definitely not the answer. It's distractor. Distractor means something that wrong information. They want to trick you. They want to make you confused. so that you think, this one, this is answer. I can see exactly the same words here. It's not answer in listening and reading. So just read this part and do this part at home. Send me your answers and I will check your answers, okay? Next session, we will correct your answers and we'll talk about them, okay?
Okay.
Well, okay, now take a deep breath. We're gonna start with writing. So tell me, how are you feeling now? Worried, tired, or it's okay?
I don't know. I think
That's
I'm really bad at writing.
Oh, no, you're not. We can improve it. No worries. No worries. I will teach you the tricks. If you know the tricks, that will be really easy to write. So we'll do something together. No worries. Just,
Yeah.
okay, I want to give you a break for 1 or 2 minutes to actually be focused again. And after that, start with writing. Just, if you want to talk about something that you really like, what would it be? So just tell me. I want you to talk about something that you really like and you really enjoy talking about it.
I don't know. I'm not a really talkative person, so most.
So tell me, are you introvert or extrovert person?
I'm definitely an introvert person.
Really? Oh, I'm extrovert. So let me, for example, if you have time and you can go out and hang out with friends. So it's okay. And you say, okay, let's go out and hang out with friends. Or you say, no, let's stay home, just watch movies, study, read. So which one?
Well, uh, if that was my close friends, I can go out. But
Yeah.
like if someone I was not close with,
Yeah. You
I
say,
can just stay home. Yeah.
yeah, and you know, of course, at school, so every year you see some new people, new students, and of course, you can make new friendship. So,
Yeah.
are you a person who say, okay, let's make new friendship, or say no, just previous ones, just close friends? So, which one?
I would say no. But
Yeah.
like people, yeah, they talk to me first, so I still talk back like polite things.
Yeah, of course. But you are not like, you want to keep conversation going and make new friendships. So you're not the person. I got it. But but it's interesting. Of course, you can enjoy. And tell me, okay, what type of movies do you like to watch? Because, except K drama, K-pop, K drama, Korean drama, and we have K-pop. Am I right? Korean
Yeah.
pop. It's
Yeah.
really popular nowadays. So tell me, are you interested? Are you a big fan of K-pop?
Well, for some group, I'm listening to their music. Yeah,
Say,
it's just like some.
so what group?
Oh
BTS?
no, it's
Yeah.
Blackpink. You may know them.
Oh, Blackpink. I know those girls. I know
Yeah.
this girl. Yeah. Are they Korean people? Because I don't know. Just of course, I know them. I know the script and I heard about them and, some news. But, I heard some songs, but I'm not sure if they're Korean or other countries.
Um. Well, three of them was Korean, but
Uh,
like two of the three was like born in Australia and New Zealand,
of
and
course.
the other girl was Thailand.
Of course, a beautiful one. Let me say the name. Lisa. A
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, of course. Of course. She's really cute. She's really cute and yeah, good. So maybe So we can watch, because I normally do this when break time. So we have 2 or 3 minutes to take a break and, of course, be focused again. So maybe we can watch some songs or something that you like together. I have lots of interesting videos. Okay. Well, and now just I want to briefly talk about writing, and then, of course, we will keep going this topic next session. So let me say something about writing IELTS. Of course, it can be considered as maybe a difficult part, but let me say something. It's not difficult at all. If you know the structure, you can do it perfectly. Just let me say something. We have some topics that are really common in IELTS. So we know that, for example, for task 1, okay, we have charts, diagram, or of course, I'm talking about academic, not actually general learning. So I'm talking about academic test. So we have charts, diagram, and graphs, table, maps, okay? Different, maybe type of questions or tasks. But totally, we have some actually topics that will be given to you to write. The only thing that is different is the question. For example, instead of countries, we have cars, manufacturing, or different titles, subjects. So, but totally they're the same. Now, if you know the structure, it will be really easy. So, every session we will study, will work, and maybe a sample. For example, a line graph. For example, map. For example, a bar chart. Okay, and then when you write, when you know the words that you need to use, you can use them in any situation. So there are some words that you need to use. If you use them, you can boost your score. Or, for example, there is a structure that you need to follow. If you follow the structure, that will be really easy to write. Now let's have a look at this one. Look, this is a graph. We say line graph or graph, okay? The easiest one, you know that we actually, your IELTS test won't be this way, like this, you know, it's really easy. Normally we have multi-line graph, the combination of different lines, and you say, wow, this one is really difficult. How I can write about this? No, it's really easy to write about them. Just next session, I will teach you the structure, how to write, and how actually maybe divide, separate the information into different categories so that it will be easy to write about them. Well, but for this session, okay, we need to skip this part because no more time to talk about. Well, okay, just let me ask you a question, and this is the final part of this session. Okay, is there anything, you know, when you compare your town since childhood up to now, until now, is there anything that has been changed and you figured out, so wow, for example, this part of my town has been changed? Is there anything that you can mention?
Well, it's hard because I was born in Vũng Tàu, but I
Another
moved.
city, another city.
Yeah, so but I'm like my whole family moved to Ho Chi Minh City, and
Ah,
like we're switching place like many times, and I didn't like go back into my old hometown or just like old home. So it's hard to like finding
I
out.
Of course, because you haven't lived there, of course, it's hard to talk about your hometown. So you live in another city, so of course, so you can't talk about it. But hometown, the place, the city, the town that you were born, your hometown, of course, and now you're not living there. Well, okay, my dear Alex, time is over and we need to go. Is there any question that you want to ask me? Something, issues, questions?
No.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you for being with me in this class here. And today it was really good time with you. And have a nice week. See you
Thank
next
you.
session. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.